All right. Hi, Jacko.
Hi, Barry. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Wonderful.
That's wonderful. Welcome to the first race of round 2 of the Metroid Fusion Any Percent tournament.
We've got Sci-Fi Gemini versus Bench Juice. Barry, can you tell us anything about these runners?
I can tell you several things about these. Sci-Fi has a 114.15 as his PB, and Bench Juice has a 113.09. And they are both keyboard runners, so I'm very excited for this because of that. They both use keyboard, which is pretty uncommon. I think there's only 3 people on the leaderboard in like the top 50 that run on keyboard.
Oh, yep, I know Pulsemore's a keyboard fan too.
Yep. So that's interesting.
Yeah, we've got an even playing field here.
Yeah. I would say Sci-Fi is due for a 113 any run that he does.
Yeah, he moved up pretty fast too. I would say
Yeah.
Bench Juice also has.
Yeah, Bench Juice is very good. Very good.
So I think this will be a really good race. We've got 2 skilled runners here. PB's not terribly far from each other.
Yep. Looks like we should be getting started here soon.
Alright, Sci-Fi with the File C strat.
I also do that. Always.
Well, Bench Juice is using File B, and we all know B stands for best, so...
Of course. Yep. Yeah, I'm pretty excited for this race.
It'll be interesting to see some of the different strats. I'm not super with Sci-Fi's runs, so it'll be interesting to see anything he does that's a little different, if anything.
Sci-Fi is interesting because Sci-Fi's early game isn't always like the best, but his late game is always the best.
Okay.
So it's
kind
like,
of backwards from what you normally see, huh?
yeah, exactly. I know for me, my early game is very good, and then my late game is not good at all sometimes. Usually. Just from doing resets and stuff. Alright, looks like the race is starting now.
Alright, buckle your seatbelts.
think the stream delay is making me look like a liar.
Yeah. Well, we know the truth.
Yep, there we go.
And we're off.
Off we are.
All right, so what kind of action are we expecting to see here in these first couple of minutes here? Any crazy tricks?
Yeah. The third room of the game, we've got the climb. It's an easy room to get up, but it's a hard room to get up there fast. So let's see what kind of strats we see from each runner. Sci-Fi does the left side, which is very consistent. benchjuice does the optimal strat, where you kind of wall jump up the middle. Both nailed it.
Love to see it.
Looks like Sci-Fi was a little faster on maybe text and execution.
Yeah, all that text makes a big difference in those RTA runs, huh?
Yeah. The text mashing is very fun, if you want to call it that.
Hey, we got clean Hornode kills from these runners. That's nice to see.
Yeah, Sci-Fi taking a little fall in that room there. Trying to do a ledge hop, but just didn't get on the platform.
Hey, it happens to all of us.
Happens to the best of us.
Yeah. All right, so what's this Adam guy yapping about here?
I don't know. I can't read it.
Yeah, me neither.
No. I think that's the 10% chance of survival. The nice. We got a sync going on here.
Oh, hey.
Yeah. I think that's the one where he's telling you have a 10% chance of survival, and there's X parasites everywhere. This one, he tells you that they have a 20% chance of survival, because we're going to get missiles.
Thank goodness. Can't go without those on a speed run.
Jacko, would you download a missile?
Of course not. What kind of person do you take me for? So an interesting thing you guys might have noticed, a few rooms ago, you'd see the runners jump through a door when there was obviously no need to. But it means when the runners go through a door, sometimes you'll see it scrolls a little bit so that it's centered. And sometimes you'll jump through a door so that it doesn't move as much, so it saves a little bit of time, RTA. Called a door fix.
All right. So you got the missiles.
We've got a little bit of randomness coming up here shortly, don't we?
Indeed, we do. Plenty of that in this run. We're coming up on our first eye door here. It's completely random whether it becomes vulnerable immediately or tries to shoot some beams at you first. Each beam you lose at least like 2 seconds. So that's never fun, but we learn to deal with it.
Yeah, it keeps it interesting.
Yeah.
You know? You might have runs where you're not playing so well, but you'll get great RNG, which kind of helps alleviate some of that time loss. Oh no! Sci-Fi missed the double.
Sci-Fi is getting great RNG, but completely missed on the first one. That can happen sometimes when you're going for a double missile shot. Where you get...
Yeah, what are those?
You get 2 missiles in on the same frame. If you do that, both of them will hit. And benchjuice just did a double on the core. So Always interesting around this one. Never seen him
Sci-fi
walk
struggling
that
a little
far.
bit. Here we go. Here we go. He got the double. We're in good shape here.
Oh no. Okay.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, so those doubles you can do on the Core X is just like the eye doors. That saves what, about 3 seconds every time?
Yeah, yeah. It saves 3 seconds on the cores. So for those doubles, you can just kind of fire 2 missiles at the right time, and they'll both be inside of the X when it spawns. So they'll just hit automatically. Later on, the doubles get trickier because you can't just fire 2 missiles, because the cooldown becomes longer when you upgrade your missiles to ice missiles or super missiles. So you have to jump to catch up the second missile with the first one, and it just becomes harder to do.
We've got some experienced runners here, so I'm sure we'll get to see that at least a few times here today.
Oh yeah, they'll be going for doubles constantly. So they're not too far apart here. It's unfortunate that Sci-Fi couldn't get those 3 shots in on the eye door, because Sci-Fi got great RNG, but it really hurts when you miss both missiles on the eye door going for the double.
Yeah, you feel it deep in your soul because you got the good luck, but you just couldn't make use of it.
Yeah.
But hey, it's still early in the run. Anything could happen.
Oh, anything could happen.
Sector 1 can be a little bit scary because you want to... Ideally, the runners will try to stay at full health as much as possible, because the way the drops work, the yellow X refill your health, the green X refill your missiles. And normally, if you're not at full on either health or missiles, the chance for either drop is random. But if you're full on HP, any yellow drop you would get turns into a green X drop.
Yep. Guaranteed missiles when you're full health. Oh, benchjuice is grabbing the Hornode hole E-tank, which is not something that we see often.
Yeah.
Sci-Fi is skipping it. Sci-Fi is going to make up a little bit of time there. That's interesting. I wonder what that's for.
Yeah.
Is it for Sector 2, do you think?
I'm venturing a guess. Maybe it's for sack skip, perhaps.
Maybe Hundo sack skip?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That strat is a lot simpler in terms of the inputs you do compared to your traditional sack skip.
Right. Also, it might make for a safer quick kill box later on.
Oh, yep, that's true too. We've got a lot of hard hitters here throughout the game, but early game too.
benchjuice doing that awesome drop down strat. Sci-Fi did it too, but didn't quite get, I think, one of the first 2 missiles in.
Yeah, sometimes you can just get bad luck with those stabilizers too, right?
Sci-Fi's missiles are not looking good.
Oh, 1 missile. This could be bad.
This is bad.
Uh-oh, yep. Only yellow
Oh no,
drops.
if Sci-Fi could have gotten up there without taking damage, he could have gotten a couple drops in the next room, but now it's just up to luck. Did Sci-Fi opt for no main deck missile? I didn't see.
I believe both him and benchjuice grabbed it.
Okay.
Luckily, there's a spot to farm here. It costs a little bit of time, but hopefully it won't take too long. to get some green X drops here for sci-fi.
Benchjuice made a quick work of that charge core. Oh no. Okay. Yeah, that's really unfortunate for sci-fi.
Yeah. Well, benchjuice struggling here. Why is he shooting so much when he right before he lands on these platforms?
So benchjuice is doing shot cancels. We go for those all the time. It's a way to you break out of spin jump, which makes your hitbox bigger, and you land on the platform in a neutral state sooner by shooting, because it just breaks you out of spin.
Some good tech right there. We just saw a textbook charge core fight from sci-fi. So that's good to see. Even though he's a little bit behind, he's still playing pretty decent here when it comes to the bosses.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate about the drops.
Yeah. It's one of the scariest things about Sector 1, especially when you're new.
Yeah.
Because when you're new, it is so easy to get hit, and you know, it happens to even the best of us sometimes.
Indeed it does. Alright, making our way over to Sector 2. Jacko, what can we expect from the enemies in Sector 2?
They hit like a truck.
Yep, they sure do.
It's like a museum. You can look, but don't touch.
Yeah, these they're big red worms called Zoros. They do a lot of damage. I remember, like when you not first start running, but when you go in here with like 1 E-tank and you're like somewhat new, there's a real chance that like you can just die in here trying to go fast.
Oh yeah. Can't say it's never happened to me. There's some clean double shots there from benchjuice on the Zoros, the caterpillars.
Yeah, they take 2 missiles to kill, and you don't want to stop running, so you have to like time those missiles. It's pretty lenient, but the timing's kind of awkward. It's earlier than you think, in my opinion.
I agree with that. You'll sometimes see players do point blank shots with the charge beam. One interesting thing about charge beam in Metroid Fusion compared to some of the other games is it's made of 3 particles. It's got 2 individual particles plus a flare that comes out right next to your cannon. So if you shoot something point blank, you can get an extra little bit of damage in there, which can be enough to one-shot something that you normally wouldn't be able to.
Yeah, the charge beam is ridiculous in this game.
Yeah, it's quite nice. I really enjoy it. It's one thing that Fusion does really well. So we got Sci-Fi working his way up to the security room, unlocking blue doors.
Benchjuice making his way through the maze. You'll see benchjuice in there was kind of like rolling away from the bombs that he's placing and then rolling back. Samus actually does have acceleration in this game. So he's just trying to save a few frames there. It's not just for style. It's just accelerating before the bomb hits, breaks the block, and timing it so that he rolls right through it like full speed.
Hey, to be fair, it is quite stylish too.
It is.
Hey, got a good pattern there for sci-fi. Sometimes that caterpillar can be right in the way when you fall down there.
Yeah.
That makes it a little bit more difficult to get through quickly.
Alright.
Oh, benchjuice starting on our next boss fight.
Yep. So this boss is full of fun RNG. The amount of jumps that Zazabi here does is random. On the first round, sometimes you can do a minimum of 1 extra jump. Second round, 2. Third round, 3. And then anything beyond that's extra credit and time loss.
We're just here to pass. We're not trying to, you know, be valedictorian of Metroid Fusion here, Zazabi.
So benchjuice just pulled off like a perfect core fight. Got the first double, and then the second one is kind of one of those ones where it's a bit harder, but
The clean escape too. Sci-fi got the good RNG, and it works perfectly.
Alright, let's see if benchjuice goes for sack skip. Yep, hundo sack skip. So that one, that one's actually faster than any percent sack skip where you go into spring ball and do a bunch of hops around it. It's easier and it's faster, and the reason that benchjuice was able to do it was because grab that extra tank in sector 1.
Sci-fi getting pummeled with extra jumps here. You got a perfect eye door, and then you notice that the eye door only took 1 shot. That's because of the charge beam plus the flare is enough damage to take him out in 1 hit, which is pretty nice. You know, better than waiting for potentially 2 eye door openings where it's vulnerable.
Yeah. This game would be a lot harder to speedrun if you couldn't one-shot the rest of the eye doors.
So how much time does sack skip save anyway?
Hundo sack skip about 8 seconds.
Oh, we love that number.
No, I think it's 7 to 8, whereas the normal sack skip is 6 seconds.
Oh, okay. Sci-fi opting not to do sack skip.
Sci-fi actually never does sack skip.
Oh, really? That's interesting.
Yeah. Doesn't
So he's
want
not just playing it safe.
Doesn't want anything to do with it.
That's all right. He's got an excellent time.
Yeah.
Just goes to show you how far your movement can carry you in your boss fights throughout the game.
Yep. Oh no, sci-fi struggling with that wall jump. Once we hit like mid-game, I think we'll see sci-fi start to speed up and tighten up his movement a lot. It's known for just having insane segments in late game, so...
Hey, you know, I totally get it. I want to spend as little time in early game as possible, too.
Yep.
Oh, that was a nice trick you just saw on benchjuice's side. Fired that missile just before he morphed. So it hits the door, you don't have to shoot it later.
Yeah, that's a nice piece of movement that you can do in Sector 4. Really feels good to nail that strat. Alright, we're gonna see the boss in Sector 4 in just a minute here. This is where the charge beam becomes crucial.
Well, yeah, why is that?
Well, you explained earlier that it has the 3 pieces to it, the 2 projectiles and the flare, and that allows us to 2-shot Ceres. So let's see if benchjuice can pull off a nice 2-round here. First shot looked good.
Alright, here we go.
There it is. Ceres can actually... Yes, he is. Ceres can give troll patterns where you're not expecting it. There's no way to tell if Ceres is about to troll, and they're harder to react to because of that, because you don't know it. You don't know what Ceres is doing. Most of the patterns you can tell what Ceres is about to do, so you can like be ready for wherever it's gonna be. But benchjuice did not get a troll pattern, so got,
Hey, you know,
the
I understand
textbook
it.
fight.
A little bit of variety is nice every now and then.
Yeah, that's one way to put it.
Sci-fi coming up on the Ceres fight here. We'll see if we get a troll pattern here for y'all.
No beams.
Hey, that's nice. That helps.
Benchjuice going for low height here. That's such an interesting strat that benchjuice does. I saw him do that in practice. Sci-fi having a great Ceres fight.
Yeah, that was textbook right there. Look at those doubles too.
Yeah. That low height shine spark that benchjuice just did is really cool, because most people try to unmorph before they hit the ground and then initiate a shine spark under the platform, but benchjuice purposely hit the ground and unmorphed on the bounce.
It seemed like a nice way to do it.
Yeah.
I'll make it consistent.
I might have to try that out myself. So I want to say Sci-Fi's speed booster time was around 22 minutes. I've seen Sci-Fi get a 114 with a 22-minute speed booster time. So
that is huge.
I wouldn't count him out just yet.
So it's interesting you saw Sci-Fi do a diagonal shine spark out of that pump control area, whereas benchjuice just went straight across the room.
Yep. It makes that shine spark storage much more comfortable, and it's actually, I think, tied with the other strat in terms of speed.
Okay, hey, that's really nice. Yeah, I wasn't sure myself if one was faster than the other.
If one is faster, it's within a few frames, and I think it might be the diagonal strat.
Oh, that is nice. Yeah, it's always nice when you can get some variety of strats, you know, where not everybody needs to do the same thing to be optimal. Or, you know.
Yep. It's nice to have choices.
Yeah. Oh, Juice going for the north side spark here, going into the Sector 2 security room.
Yep.
Or Sector 3 security room. level 2.
Yeah, I would say that strat's more comfortable. I think it's slightly slower than the one where you store it in the wall, but it's way easier.
Oh yeah, because you'd have that bonk at the end there. So that's ooh wow, shine break,
Nice.
frame perfect.
Is that frame perfect?
Actually, I'm not sure. 2 frames, 1 frame. It's
Yeah,
pretty tight trick, no matter how you look at it.
It's hard. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a toughie.
Bench making his way over to supers. Pretty good pace. At least for me, this is like a fantastic pace.
Sci-fi making his way into Sector 3. It'll be interesting to see if he does the same strat as benchjuice going into the level 2 security.
Nope, goes for the other strat.
There we go. Okay, all right. Yeah, so there's no crash animation there, which is really nice, because when you crash, I believe it's about 60 or 70 frames where you're just standing there bonking, doing nothing.
Ooh, benchjuice almost got the 2-round quick kill box. 1 missile off.
Wow. Still well executed here.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
Sci-fi also got the shine break. That's so hard.
Yeah.
Oh, it sparked into the ceiling though.
Oh no.
It doesn't save that much time, but it is faster. I want to say it's 1 second.
That's what I recall too. About a second. Which is crazy because, you know, that's the thing with Shine Sparks. A lot of times they look wicked fast, but you got that whole bonk animation, so that kind of balances it out sometimes.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see if Sci-Fi does the same box strat as benchjuice, because like some of the other bosses, there's a little bit of variety in boss strats, especially with box and Xbox.
Ooh, Sci-Fi got Data Spark.
Hey, that's really impressive. That's a pretty darn tough trick.
Yeah, it's hard. I don't think I've ever gotten Data Spark.
Yeah, me neither.
Bad at it. Yeah, so Sci-Fi is going for the traditional box kill instead of the quick kill, which is still a good strat. I mean, fight's over just like that. The 2-round quick kill box saves like I think 3 or so seconds over the traditional strat. But if you do the 3-round quick kill, it's actually not quick. It's like I think barely faster. If it is faster at all. Going into Sector 6, we're gonna see the blue X that is on benchjuice's screen. These things do a nice amount of damage.
Yep, it's like we're in Sector 2 again. Look but don't touch. One thing that makes them a little bit scary is they'll follow you around once you get close enough to them.
Yep.
You can see here. Oh, benchjuice stuns it.
He doesn't want to go anywhere near that. Sci-Fi's HP, I think it was looking a little low. Maybe I'm mistaken. No. So actually, Sci-Fi is 1 shot to a blue X right now. But benchjuice skipping an E-tank that you would never skip in any percent run, but the tournament strats are starting to show.
Oh, yeah, because he already got that extra E-tank earlier.
Yep.
One thing that's noteworthy too is both runners had a good missile count going into Sector 6.
Ooh, no.
Uh-oh.
Oh my
Uh-oh.
god.
Whoa. That sack skip did not go right. But we're fine. We're so fine.
Okay.
We are A-okay.
I was holding my breath for the blue X in that room, but...
Little did you know. Wow.
Yeah, so bench juice, I believe, went a little early there. The sacks did not act as it usually does. It would normally just kind of jump over you, or you would jump over it, but now it just turned around and shot. Just not what you want to see. Oh my god, Sci-Fi still going for that strat with being within one blue X of death.
Hey, you gotta admire it.
Yeah.
The chutzpah.
And an E-tank. Alright.
Alright, we're safe. Well, let's see how Sci-Fi does on this sack skip. You can see on Bench's side now that he's got Varia suit, he can grab those. I mean, Varia suit, pardon me. You can see that the blue X are no longer a threat. You can just pick them up and they'll refill some of your health.
Yep. So
there we go.
Gets past the SAX with no problem. And she's dealing with puffer patterns leaving here.
Yeah, that Sector 6 escape is a really difficult section to do quickly without getting pummeled.
Monkey says that this is the hardest segment to play consistently in because of that Sector 6 escape. Pattern. There's so many patterns that you can get with the puffers.
Yeah, because those puffers can move, what, 4 directions?
Yeah, I think so. Sci-Fi almost got the triple-double, but he got the double-double.
I didn't see, did both of our runners get the 4-shot on the big Core X?
I believe so. I actually didn't see. Yeah, that core is only vulnerable to the charge beam, but if you get 4 good shots in, that's all it takes. Good shots being, you know, all particles hitting.
Oh yeah, that flare, ever important.
Sci-Fi getting some unfavorable puffer patterns, but...
Yeah, I think he handled it pretty good,
yeah.
all things considered. Oh, this guy.
Alright, now we make our way into the cold sector. Ooh, Sci-Fi gets the Shine Spark here. That's a tough trick. It only saves about half a second, but it's a half a second well earned.
Yeah, well said.
The storage on the Shine Spark there is tough. And then if you do get it, fighting the urge to spark into the wall there is also very hard.
Yep, almost every time. That wall just is so inviting.
It really is. So another enemy here in Sector 5, akin to the puffers, is the Waver. You got to deal with their patterns. They have several patterns. They're a little bit easier to deal with because they don't release damage particles when you damage them, like the puffers do. But,
Thank goodness.
they can be tricky.
We're just opening all the doors here in this game. Yellow doors are unlocked, only one more after this.
Yep. A lot of fixing and opening doors. Samus is kind of acting as a carpenter in this game, as well as an HVAC technician in Sector 1.
Hey, it's good to be a jack of all trades.
And benchjuice getting the ice missile upgrade.
You can get a slight damage boost from ice missiles. All the missile shots do 40 damage instead of 30 with super missiles. But for better or worse, now you can freeze enemies. So stuff that would have died in one shot now takes 2 with your missiles.
And it does make those doubles slightly harder than with just supers.
Oh yeah.
Your missile cooldown is longer.
Oh, it feels weird to be going through a sector here without fighting a boss, huh?
Yeah, no boss here. No boss. Sector 5 is my favorite sector, especially on the first visit. It's just a lot of tight movement and dealing with enemy patterns in interesting ways.
It's great. It's such a fun showcase.
Yep.
Here we go. Benchjuice. Emergency in Sector 3. I mean,
Hi,
Franker
Monkey.
Z. Hi,
Monkeys
Monkey.
in chat.
Welcome.
Alright, so Sector 3 is about to explode. What's up with that?
Well, apparently, there's some scientist who's just chilling in the boiler room, and he must not have heard the news that the whole station got taken over by X-parasites. So the X decide, hey, we're gonna blow this place up. It's got Samus here. She's a big problem.
Now, would you say that that's Samus's fault for unlocking the green doors?
Yeah, totally her fault.
Yeah.
Totally her fault. She should have known there'd be some scientists there in the boiler room. So Emergency is full of some excellent small strats.
Another one of my favorite parts of the game, just pure execution of tight movement. Try to get that timer on the screen as high as possible when it ends.
Yeah, you'll see you get a 6-minute timer here to start out, but these runners, they're well seasoned. They don't need 6 minutes.
No. Yeah, Monkey, it does appear that Sci-Fi's audio is a little bit off, but...
You know, it might just be me. I think that eye door right before this little Corax boss, you know, for me, I hardly ever seem to get beams there. For whatever reason.
I always get like 0 beams or like 3 beams. That's how it feels.
So just as Benchjuice is leaving the room where he got our next upgrade, the wide beam, which does what it says on the tin, make beam wider. Sci-Fi has entered Sector 3. He's going on his emergency trek here.
Yeah, benchjuice had a very good emergency. Grabbed the Corex at 4:37 on the timer, which is
Yeah, that's a pretty good time.
that's pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, you might hear some folks say it's not wide beam, it's spazer. Don't let them gaslight you. It says wide beam right there on the screen.
So benchjuice is making use of the R shot here.
Yeah, what's that?
On the ladder, or the monkey bars rather. If you press R to equip your missiles while you have a beam charged, it'll fire automatically wherever your cannon is facing. So, and if you have no missiles, it will not work.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that part.
Yep. Yeah, if you're at 0, you cannot R shot because you can't select your missiles. Sci-fi getting one double. One double. 432, that's pretty good.
Yeah, 4-3X. Hard to complain too much about that, right?
Yep. So this part of the game, it's a bit of a lull. We take 7.5 elevator rides, talk to Adam a bunch, go hang out with some animals. Not a ton of action.
7.5 elevators, you say, huh?
Yep.
That's
7.5.
quite a few.
We go up 3 from Sector 3 to the animals. We go down 3 to get power bombs. And then we go up 1 to get to the elevator hallway. And then half an elevator ride.
Well, it's something that happens to all of us. How often have you been right about to walk out the door and then you realize, oh, I forgot my keys or I forgot my wallet?
Happens all the time. So let's see if benchjuice goes for the impossible strat here. He does, and he nails it.
Turns out it's possible. Love to see it.
Yeah, that strat is it's not too hard, but it's very hard to be consistent with, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Hence the name, Impossible Strat.
It's just yeah, monkey. That's a good way to put it.
He's juicing.
Alright, so we free the animals for benchjuice.
So why do people have such strong feelings on the animals anyway?
The animals are RNG. For some reason.
Just for fun.
Rarely they'll pop out instantly. You could save like 5 seconds just on the animal RNG. Generally, you get like very mediocre animal RNG. It's like what's normal. That's what you expect. Alright, they're both in the same nav room there for a second.
F5. Alright, wonder if Sci-Fi will go for the impossible strat here.
I'm gonna say no. That's my guess. Doesn't go for it. It saves about 2 seconds from what I could tell.
Okay.
So it's like, if you're not 100% confident with it, it's not really worth it. Because it can get disastrous depending on how you fail it.
An absolute catastrophe, huh?
Those were really good animals for sci-fi from what I could tell.
Well, even going for that slightly slower strat, he did execute it perfectly. So that's always good to see. It's one of the big trade-offs. Sometimes there's a faster strat, but it's way harder to make consistent. There, bench juice going. He's on his way to pick up his wallet. He forgot it in Sector 5.
Yeah, bench juice was just at the most important Adam text in the whole game, where Adam says, "Hey, go to the data room that you were just at. Here it is in case you forgot." It's like, yes, I know where the data room is. Why are you stopping me?
You know, he's just being polite to all the handheld gamers out there.
All right, we got power bombs for bench juice.
So we've been collecting a lot of missile packs here. Are we going to be getting a lot of power bomb packs too, you think?
I would say we get absolutely none. 10 is plenty to complete the game with. Picking up a power bomb pack, you would just lose all the time. Picking it up will not save you any time anywhere in the game. So, yeah. And what's the max for power bombs if you collect them all? Like 74?
Yeah, 74, that's it. It's quite a few.
Yeah, I would say it's too many.
Yeah. So we saw a pretty nice looking Zach's skip. Is it really a skip? You kind of have to go to the left.
Yeah, I mean, it is in that you normally don't have to trigger it at all to proceed, but it's much faster to trigger it. So
it's been so long since I've,
yeah,
seen
just
it outside of
waited it out.
speedrun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's interesting going through that room again. You have to change up your strat a little bit, maybe, because you got ice missiles. You can't just missile the pancakes and they go bye-bye.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, it
Or
actually
even though it's
becomes
the same
harder.
room. Yeah, that is nice.
That is one spot where I don't appreciate having ice missiles.
Hey, the Federation worked very hard to make this downloadable missile just for you.
And the power goes out on bench juice's screen.
Well, he's running on battery power, so he can still see his stream, thankfully.
Yeah, that's what I meant. See, bench juice not getting bad RNG there. You can get hit, and then you don't get a speed boost.
Yeah, that's always fun.
Taking a little detour, making sure there's nothing on that side of the maintenance shaft.
I mean, he used a power bomb. He should know there's no more secrets there. But, it's alright.
So no JRP jump from bench juice.
Maybe Sci-Fi will give us the JRP jump we're looking for. Hey, what is that JRP jump anyway?
The JRP jump is where you jump with the speed boost, so you jump real far and land right under the ship, so it picks you up right as you land.
That sounds pretty cool. I think I'm gonna start doing that.
Yeah.
Sci-Fi had a pretty solid Sector 5 there, just a slight mishap in that Sax room.
Bench juice skipping another E-tank. It makes sense. It's just interesting to see the Hornode whole E-tank in Sector 1 get picked up instead of the either the Sector 6 one or the one that he just skipped.
He's skipping Yakuza missiles too.
Yep.
go.
So Yakuza's fun. Lots of RNG here. I believe Monkey said that you can lose up to 12 seconds on this boss fight if you do everything right. Just RNG.
It could be 1 to 4 rounds before he opens his mouth for vulnerability again. Bench Juice got 2 rounds. And so you might have seen too at the beginning of the fight, Bench Juice just jumping up and down erratically, just shooting missiles into the sky.
That's because Yakuza is actually vulnerable at the very beginning of the fight. Just, it's off screen, you can't see him.
A textbook core fight from Bench Juice there. Sci-Fi making his way right now down to where Yakuza is.
Yeah, Monkey, I know someone said it was about 12 seconds. It is, yeah, it's hard to really time it. But...
Oh yeah, I guess it would depend like on your mashing speed too, right?
Yeah, like it's hard to do it optimally every time.
Ooh. At the impossible R shot from Bench Juice there, leaving that vine room.
Ooh. Bench Juice did the right side sax strat.
Here you see Sci-Fi getting the Yakuza missiles here.
Yeah, so that right side sax encounter, if you place a bomb in the first part of the room, the SAX will appear on the right side of the screen, and you can kind of go right over it as you drop down, and it's actually faster, I believe. And if you don't place a bomb, it'll be on the left, and you can just kind of freeze it and go over it, which is, I would say, easier.
Yeah, me too. So Sci-Fi got what we all want. He got that 1 round Yakuza.
Nice.
Killed it pretty high up. It took a little bit to get into phase 2, but we're still cookies here.
Indeed we are. Alright. Bench Juice is making quick work of everybody's favorite plant boss. I know I love this boss. Notori.
Best cookie. Gotta go with the classic chocolate chip. Don't get better than that.
It's a good option.
Reliable, you know.
Yeah, so Notori, not a whole lot to say there. It's just fire a bunch of missiles into it, place a few power bombs, a couple charge shots, and some clean doubles. Notori can be a little tricky. The doubles on it, I would say, are harder than most, in my opinion.
Yeah, 'cause you're kind of in a cramped space there.
Yep.
I guess one thing we haven't really mentioned about Sector 2 is those worms we saw earlier. Now they're key hunters, those little bee things that fly around, and just like when they were caterpillars, they hit like a truck, so we don't want to touch them.
They do a lot of damage. We have enough energy to deal with them at this point, but in a casual setting, they are horrible. You can see Sci-Fi doing that cool entry into the Notori room where there's like a mid-air morph which releases your charge shot, and then you place a power bomb at the same time while avoiding all these spores in the air. So that's a nice little strat that I need to pick up on.
Yeah, you just gotta be careful not to shoot your charge shot into the ground. Heard that happen sometimes.
Ah,
Oh, excellent core fight there.
yep. All right, bench juice going for the longest shine spark in the game here. Back in sector 5, gets it.
Love to see it. Give your hands a little break. Besides all of the elevators.
Yeah. Sci-fi having a pretty clean exit. Sector 2. Taking his way over to sector 5. So Jacko, what do we know about this boss here in sector 5? Finally a boss in sector 5.
And the Metroid Fusion DLC. Nightmare. This guy, despite his name, I wouldn't say he's a total nightmare.
No.
One interesting thing, the first round, once you shoot his little weak spot, it turns the gravity way up, so all of your missiles just go sink into the ground after a few frames. So they want to destroy that first core as quick as possible, so then they can hit his real weak spot, his face. And then he'll just slowly lurch toward you while trying to hit you with some particles.
Bench
Once
juice.
it gets to the wall, he just spins around.
Bench juice did not have a great opener on Nightmare here, so but he's gonna get a random kind of pattern that he's not expecting. So we'll see how he deals with that.
Yeah, that's one of the tough things about Nightmare.
Yeah.
When
So
things go wrong.
ideally, Nightmare would have stopped a lot sooner there and wouldn't have swooped around the room an extra time. Also, it would have stopped higher up. So instead of shooting those diagonals from the ground, bench juice would have been on the ladder on the left to finish it off. But gets the triple double. Still, things didn't go completely out of control. So that's what we want to see.
Sci-fi making up a little bit of time here. He also got the longest shine spark in the game, the Nightmare Shine Spark. I think they must call it Nightmare Shine Spark because it's kind of a nightmare when it goes wrong if you don't know or do the backup.
Yeah, the backup's pretty tight too. I feel like you only have a few frames to store that spark.
Yeah, it's
Ooh, bench juice with the insane entry into sector 4 here, getting the R shot and just space boosting right through the door, right over the first walkway.
making it look easy.
Yeah.
Alright, let's see. Sci-Fi's Nightmare fight. There's a couple different openers you can do. There's one that's pretty popular lately, and I'm not sure if Sci-Fi's picked that up. Oh, you're doing the traditional? Semi-traditional?
Sci-fi go for the full shot opener.
Yeah, it was charge missile, and then a couple missiles. Finish her off.
Sci-fi a better pattern here, a little higher than you want, so it takes Nightmare longer to explode.
Yeah, it's got to move back to that safe spot, sweet spot.
But definitely made up some time on bench juice with that fight.
Not a triple double from Sci-Fi, but still not doing too bad here.
Yep.
This whole next section is kind of scary because we don't have any eye doors until after our next boss. So these runners want to be careful to manage their health here in these next sections.
Yeah. You can definitely take a lot of damage. Ooh, Sci-Fi getting really not good Space Pirate Room. Dealt with it fine, but also
Oh.
gets that nice
Yeah.
entry.
Pretty good looking. Oh, and the late morph too on the entry. That's good. Yeah, so if the level 4 door is unlocked, all doors are open, so EX can get everywhere and anywhere, so even maybe some top secret areas. Not that there are any aboard our biological space labs.
No, there are none. There are absolutely not.
Spin boost?
So this is another one of my favorite sections of the game. Lower Sector 4 into this Sector 6 revisit. Just a lot of good tight movement to be had here.
Yeah, and dealing with those snails and their varying patterns.
Yep.
That's a fun time.
Yep. Once again, we're seeing different puffer patterns that we have to deal with in these rooms here. And she's getting decent patterns. Actually,
Yeah.
very good patterns.
You get through that room once and you think, okay, great. I'm never going back here again, but you're wrong. You gotta go back.
But you are completely wrong. Let's see. Benchjuice triggering the next boss right there.
No entry without authorization. But all the doors are unlocked. Why would they not let us in?
That's a great question. All right, let's see how this fight goes. This fight's always fun. Benchjuice getting the fast opener, getting a lot of damage in there, and getting the I believe the fastest way you can kill Box too.
Yeah, that was a great fight from Benchjuice.
I believe that's getting 5 missiles in and the plasma shot on the opener.
Yeah, this is a kind of a scary boss too because it deals a lot of damage in that core. If those beams hit you, it hits like a truck. It's like we're in
Yeah.
Sector 2 again.
It's something like 80 damage from the core.
And then you're probably not often gonna see runners go for doubles on that Wave Core X because it's incredibly precise. Very difficult. It's possible, but very difficult.
Yeah, Monkey confirming that's a charge shot plus 5 missiles on that opener, which is just crazy.
Oh, look, Benchjuice aligned to the Metroids.
Yeah.
That is nice.
Nice.
Very good.
Yeah.
Shoutouts to JRP.
If you jump through that door there, it'll line up the Metroids so that they're like in a stack. If you jump like partially through the door, not like a full jump, it'll line up 2 of them.
You only lose a couple frames, so you know.
Yeah.
It's up to you if you want to spice up your speed runs. Alright, sci-fi coming up on Xbox.
Ooh, not getting the that's not gonna hit either.
Uh-oh.
That's always rough. Fight's back in control though. I know if I do that I'm a bit lost.
Yeah, this is Tough fight when it goes off script.
Sci-fi
Hey.
recovered it well, though.
Yeah, he really cleaned that up.
Sci-fi going for the wave double.
Oh, wow. Hey.
That's the hardest double in the game.
Yeah. They're just so precise because you just don't have a lot of room vertically.
Yeah. For a while, people thought that they were pretty much not humanly possible, but recently, Miguel found a setup to make them possible.
Yeah, and I believe C. Scotty W did it in his any percent easy PB. I think that's the first time that's happened.
Oh, the first time in everything. Yeah. benchjuice had a little trouble with the Golden Pirates there.
Giving Sci-Fi a chance. Yeah, double. That's what I meant. Yeah, that's the first time I'm aware of. If it happened before, I'm just not aware of it.
All right.
So why are we shooting Ridley diagonally instead of, you know, from the side or the bottom?
So the way that Ridley works is you do damage per frame with your charge beam, and Ridley is a big square. So you want to shoot Ridley diagonally through that square to do the maximum amount of damage. So you're dealing damage for longer, basically, by doing the charge shot diagonally. It's just your beams traveling through them for longer.
I believe we just saw a triple double there from benchjuice on the Ridley core. That's pretty yeah.
Oh man.
It was at least a double. Pretty sure it was a triple.
Triple double there is very hard, in my opinion. Pretty impressive to see it. I'm really happy if I get two. So
yeah.
So we got our sci-fi teams with Ridley here. First, the Golden Pirates.
Yeah, those Golden Pirates are interesting. Basically, they check to see if Samus is facing the same direction as them to determine whether or not they're vulnerable.
Yeah, so the intended way to kill them is to shoot them in the back, but if you just fire a shot and quickly turn around, the game thinks you're hitting it in the back.
Yeah, that was an excellent climb there in Sector 1 from benchjuice, doing the shot cancels so he didn't break the blocks with screw attack. Yeah, that's pretty hard to do.
That is a tough strat. It's very satisfying to see people pull that off.
Yeah.
Sci-Fi had a really good Ridley fight.
Yeah. It was an interesting setup for that first double there. Didn't quite work out, but not too often you see downward doubles on these non-beam core X's.
Yeah, when you kill the boss so low, it's hard to get a double really any other way.
Yeah. Oh, Sci-Fi the pacifist here. Didn't kill any of those rippers in that room.
It's pretty tough to do. Closing in on the last couple boss fights here.
Yeah, what is this, about 90 seconds of text?
Yeah, just about. It's a long time.
It's a lot to practice, so you know, if you never practice text, let me tell you, you're not alone.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's ever practiced text.
I'm sure some people do.
I know Scotty and Mikey say that they have never practiced text.
That's funny.
Bench making his way over to the SAX. So the SAX fight, what we want to see is instantly freeze the SAX in one place, and then benchjuice is going to be going for diagonal charge shots followed by missile shots to refreeze it. The reason that we're freezing it not only is to just keep it in one spot, but we actually do more damage to the SAX when it's frozen with that charge beam. The missile shots don't actually do any damage. Perfect 4-shot from benchjuice there.
Yeah, those are tricky. So do we just not care about flare damage for that sax fight, or what?
No, not at all. No. The best you can do is that 4-shot. Looks like benchjuice getting double on the score. Yep.
Yeah. Believe so. Yep,
So
double.
Nearly a perfect fight there. Just needed one more double with the sweet spot. Benchjuice
Sci-fi making his way.
solid 113 pace.
Oh, this is a 115 pace.
Oh. Benchjuice doing that fall through the zigzag room that I prefer. I think zigzag is very hard.
Yeah, the trouble is when you're spinning, you let go of all directions, but you still move automatically in the direction that you're facing.
Oh, benchjuice got low height. That's
Wow.
interesting. He
that
does
was a-
interesting strats for these low height shine sparks. So for that one, he broke spin a lot earlier to kind of get a different visual cue for when to spark. Sci-fi also making quick work of the SAX thing.
Yeah, another 4-shot. You love to see it. It's not as easy as it looks. Oh, and an interesting setup for that phase 2 there.
All right, benchjuice is done. Making quick work of the Omega Metroid.
Congratulations, benchjuice. Oh,
Wow.
triple double from Sci-Fi on the ice core.
That's an awesome run from benchjuice. That's only 9 seconds off his PB there.
Wow.
Let's see, I'm gonna invite benchjuice. I don't know if benchjuice has a mic. Where is it?
Oh, nice setup for the low height by Sci-Fi. Didn't work out.
Did he do the morph strat?
Yep, went all the way to the left. It was just a hair too slow.
He's pretty consistent with that strat, like way more consistent than you would expect. I've seen him get it many times.
It's part of the fun of speedrunning, you know? You can take something difficult and come up with your own setup for it that makes something really difficult, really consistent for you. Sci-fi setting up perfectly for that quick kill there. Stunning that guy in place. GG to Sci-Fi.
GG. So, I invited both runners to the interview at the end here. I don't know if either of them are gonna want to show up, but yeah, so we can kind of see, based on Sci-Fi's time here, after farming at Charge, he didn't get a great speed booster time, but still just brought it back to a low or a mid 115, which is not too easy with a speed booster time like that. So it just shows that Sci-Fi's end game is, you know, really, really good, really solid.
Yeah. Yeah, some great boss fights there. How are you feeling about this run, Bench Juice? Pretty crazy to see playing within 10 seconds of PB.
Yeah.
Just earlier in the tourney, we've had someone PB by, what, about 20 seconds? Which is also pretty nice to see.
Benchjuice, were you nervous at all? You did not play nervous.
That extra E-tank in Sector 1 was unexpected.
Yeah, that was an interesting choice. Yeah, that made me sweat too.
Yeah. It
That's
scared us all here.
So that yeah, you got that that E-tank in Sector 1. I'm assuming just for safety in Sector 2. Just for the hundo sack skip, yeah. Is that something you normally do? No.
I like it because, yeah, that hundo sack skip, a lot more comfy.
Yeah, it is easier. Alright, yeah, bench just with the 45, Sci-Fi with the 47.
Hey, it could have been a 46. I thought I saw Sci-Fi join in voice,
Yeah.
but I don't see him right now.
Yeah, he DM'd me saying he's just making sure his mic is all good. Just gonna pull up the tournament info. So benchjuice's next race will be against the oh, that race already happened. That'll be against Monkey. And then Sci-Fi will face the loser of Big Ohm and Flash Frost.
Yeah, Bench Juice. You can block Monkey again after the race, but you gotta unblock him before the race.
Yeah, I didn't see you get too many beams, Benchjuice.
Yeah, 2-round Yakuza. And Sci-Fi got the 1-round Yakuza.
Yeah, Sci-Fi, just move over to the live thing whenever you're ready. The live channel. Hey, a gold is a gold. You know, keeping up with your golds is pretty much all you can ask for.
Yeah, that fight was textbook.
Yeah, that fight was really nice.
And I do want to give props to Sci-Fi too. He messed up the opener, but he came back and backed it up.
Yep.
Hello, hello.
Hey, Sci-Fi.
Hey, welcome on in.
What's up? What is that Sector 1?
Oh, the sector one.
Sector
Yeah.
1 that cringe.
Yeah,
That's a shame, man.
Really unfortunate that you had to farm there.
But to be honest, Bench is a monster. Low 113.
Yep.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Even
doing
if
what he
I
does best.
played perfectly, I think I still lost to lecture.
Yeah, it's hard to compete with a 113-18. I mean, yeah.
GG's to Bench, by the way. You're a monster, dude.
How did you feel about the rest of the run after sector?
Mm, so, to be honest, after that shenanigans in Sector 1, all tension just went away.
Oh yeah.
So, I played relatively decent throughout the rest of the run, I think.
Hmm. Yeah, your end game was pretty good as usual. Your Ridley fight was great. You recovered on box 2 really well.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because Bench Juice had a rough nightmare fight, but then
Mhm.
your fight was looking a lot better. So you
Yeah.
were making up some time, which is nice to see.
Making up some time, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. Any other thoughts on the run? Notable things that you
Not
want
really,
to...
no.
No, okay.
Hmm.
All right. Well,
Bad run, that's it.
so as I mentioned before, you will be facing the winner of Big Ohm and Flash Frost. In the losers bracket. And benchjuice gets to go up against Monkey.
Okay.
So,
Well, that's two monsters, alright.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. I think that's all we got.
Yeah. GG's to both our runners.
Yeah,
GG.
It's a good race. All right. I think our next race is tomorrow at 5 o'clock Eastern. So we'll see you then.
Hey, it looks like we've got one actually in about an hour.
Oh, we do?
Yep, on Speedgaming 4, Pinecone versus Vicious Delicious.
Oh, okay. I didn't see that one. Cool. Alrighty. That's it for me.
Yep. Have a good day, afternoon, or evening, folks.
See ya.